Hello, how are you? This is Dr. Keisha Ducree, owner of the Sojourners Academy, and I am very happy to have a special guest on my channel today. We're going to talk about the top 5 things for Black women solo travelers. The top 5 things for Black solo women travelers. We have the wonderful Dr. Maya Williams, has a channel called Fly Like Me, PhD. So we're going to be doing that together. We did our list separately, so let's see if they complement one another. But before we jump into it, I would like for you to subscribe to this channel. If you like the things we talk about here, I am a 20 plus years Black Studies professor and avid traveler. And I created the Sojourners Academy, to bring people on study abroad trips for living and learning and building community that is Black centered. We have a trip to Costa Rica coming this August. If you want more information, see the description notes. And when I'm not talking about my upcoming trips, I talk in general about race, space, Black women, and power. So it's all about Black women on this channel with a lot of geography thrown in. So I'm really happy to have you. Dr. Maya, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit more for my subscribers
Of
and
course.
viewers?
Hello, everyone. So happy to be here with you today. I am Dr. Maya. I have my own channel called Fly Like Me PhD, as already mentioned. I also center Black women, and I love to talk to women that are interested in moving or living abroad. I have traveled to 45 countries. I've lived in 6 countries. And so travel is very important to me, and I'm just really excited to have this discussion with you today about solo traveling.
Yeah, so Dr. Maya and I met. Well, I met her. She didn't meet me, and that was all virtual. I met her last fall because she co-chaired a session during Exodus Summit 2024. So they were talking about country scouting or what to look for, building that list. It was really interesting. But she met me. We were both in Stephanie Perry's YouTube challenge class. She has been instrumental in kind of organizing us, the alums from that class and some other classes. She was successful in getting us together and helping to collaborate and build community with us. So she's a wonderful community builder. And I just want to say,
Thank you for that.
so the top 5 things for Black solo women travelers. Black solo women travelers. So I'll start. Do you want to start with one, or should I start with one?
You can start. It's your channel. Go for it.
You can start with 2. So my one was have a passport. Be passport ready. Be passport ready. I have another episode talking about passport privilege. If you carry an American passport, I was about to say citizen, but that is a very loaded term in these days. If you carry an American passport, that is the ticket to over 100 countries. Some countries where you just arrive on visa, you get your visa right then and there. And if you know anything about global inequality, many countries don't have that level of access and privilege that holding an American passport has. So be passport ready. Um, that's the first thing that you should do. And even if you don't have any trips, as I said before, if you don't have any trips planned, get it now. It's another form of identification. And given the things that are happening right now, if you have your birth certificate and you have a form of ID, you can go ahead and apply for your passport, and you'll be ready when that opportunity to travel solo comes. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that is a great one. That is definitely step number one. Cannot solo travel without that passport. So really, really good advice. After you have your passport, to follow up off of that, one of the main things is that when we travel, a lot of times we're taking into consideration the other person that we're traveling with. There have been times that I didn't go to specific countries because people didn't want to go to those. There were times that I went to countries that maybe I wasn't really interested in, but that's where the person wanted to go. If you are solo traveling, this is your chance to choose your country. You choose where you want to go, you choose what you want to see. You can spend as much much time as you want to be there because you don't have to check in with someone else and verify that those things are okay.
Amen. Amen. I traveled solo because I traveled a lot for business. So it
Oh,
wasn't like, oh, I'm going to travel solo. I ended up traveling for business. I ended up traveling to really amazing places. And so I always took a day before or a day after my business to do it. So I didn't call it solo traveling, but when I know the same thing when I travel with a bunch of friends or I travel a lot with my most of my travel now is with family, and you don't have your own time. You don't have your own time. They don't want to go here. And what I've found when I look back, I've gone on travel with folks, friends and family, and I've said, you know what? I gotta bounce. So I still managed to do a little bit of solo in it. So I think I really like solo traveling, because even when I go with someone else, they don't want to go. I remember being in Puerto Rico years ago, and they wanted to go shopping. And I was like, how are we going to go shopping and buy souvenirs for places we haven't been to? So I booked a whole day tour. I was traveling through El Yunque on horseback. I was doing all kinds of things. So yeah, if you can't manage to travel solo, or if you're really uncomfortable, at least I think a baby step is to like manage a day on your own from that group. Manage a day on your own to practice, and you'll realize how much more you get to do and how satisfied you feel because you've done what you wanted to do that day. So I think that might be if you don't feel comfortable traveling solo, make a day for you when you travel in a group. You'll love it and you'll never go back.
that's a really great suggestion. I love that.
I had to for self-preservation. So number two, what's your number two?
Okay, so my number two is going to be that you really need to pay attention to what time you're going to arrive in the country. So normally if you're traveling with somebody else, this might not be a huge concern because you're like, somebody's got my back, we're good, we're in this together. But for me, I've had some trips where I like landed in a completely new country and it was midnight and I was by myself, and that to me, I felt like uncomfortable. I made it. What I had done, and this is could be another suggestion, is that I had a shuttle from the hotel I was staying at pick me up from the airport. But I think it could be like more comfortable or a better experience if you are landing in that country during the day. Because to be somebody where completely new, it to be completely dark, you've never seen this place before, it could sometimes just be like, wait, where am I? I'm still trying to like get adjusted, and it's nighttime, and we
That's a good
know
point.
who comes out at night. I know you know. I know you
Birds
know.
come out at night. And I warned her, I'm of a certain age that if I get a trigger for a song from the 1990s,
Exactly.
I'm an old lady. I'm like, but that is great practical advice. That is, I need to keep that in mind. So I'm just like, I miss cheap flights. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing. The cheap ones, it'll be like super late at night. You'll be there at 1
The
a.m.
one I was just looking at a flight, and it was the best one, and I was like, it must, it it's we land at 4:23 in the morning. We'll be okay.
This is true.
So don't be so you're right. I should probably, keep that in mind. Another reason to keep that in mind too, if you're traveling if you're flying into the major international airport in the country, but you're trying to go to a smaller place, you're trying to travel across. So like in Costa Rica, you have your choice between San Jose and Liberia, but I'm going to the Caribbean side. So you can't land and go straight there. It's another 5-hour journey by shuttle or a 45-minute flight. So you end up spending the night. So you might as well get in as early as you can in the day, 4:23 notwithstanding, so that you could find something to take you where you need to go if your journey continues for a couple of more hours.
Good
Yeah, I
point.
like to go remote places. So once I get to the country, I still have a ways to go. That is really good advice because I was about to hit that button. I was like, whatever, we'll figure it out. 4:43 in the morning. We'll figure 4:23. By the time we get to, it'll be daylight by the time. I'm dragging my kids now across the country, but yeah, poor things. Good advice. Good advice. So my number two is not as practical, but again, these like harken back to things I talk about in my channel. So my thing is go where you are the art. And what I mean by that, it has to do with my trip to Cartagena, Colombia. And so I have a whole nother episode where I talk about my diasporic love story. And I went to, not intentionally, I was in 4 countries in 3 months. I didn't set out to do that much, but it ended up happening. And when we took the tour through Cartagena, so we went to Gethsemane and then we went up to Palenque, and I saw those amazing murals of Black women now, Black women, Black girls. I didn't even know what I missed. Like I had never seen anything like that. I had never seen that many murals dedicated to Black women, all on the side of on the side of buildings. Inside the building, in this great coffee shop, was this beautiful picture of a smiling Black woman. I had never seen that, and it just felt like I can't even describe the feeling. I think maybe the closest to it is, remember the little girl? Remember years ago, they took a picture of the little girl who was looking at the picture of Michelle Obama in the portrait gallery. Remember? I felt like that little girl. To see me, to see just women smiling, just all, it's commonplace. And I was like, I've never been the art. I have never been the subject of art and beauty anywhere. I've sought it out, but I've never gone driving down the street and saw Black faces smiling reflected at me as if it was nothing. Like it wasn't Black History Month. It wasn't like it was just, it was natural. And I was like, you know what? From now on, I'm gonna go where I am the art, where I am the subject of the art. So that limits a lot of places in Europe, but
Yeah, that is beautiful. I love how you say that, and definitely my time in Medellin, Colombia too. Like you said, oh,
Mm,
actually in this apartment I can't show without turning my whole computer. There's a piece of artwork that I have in here that is from there that is a Black woman. And so, yeah, just seeing that artwork was incredible. And I can't help but anytime that I go somewhere to get a piece of artwork that represents Black people, and then, like we mentioned, just specifically in African countries too, like
mhm.
Nigeria, Ghana has some really incredible artwork. And I would agree with you. I've never seen Black people represented so much in art before.
Right. And I didn't, I say that because, I've traveled, I haven't been to 45 countries, but I didn't even know what I was missing. I did not know that didn't I did not even realize that I hadn't seen that and that I needed to see that and that it fulfilled me in ways. And now that you're going to be a solo traveler, you can go find those places on your own. You don't have to convince your friend to go with you or your partner. You can go and find those places on your own. And you're right. I bought some art when I was in Cuba. I bought some really amazing art. I couldn't even choose. It was an artist who had her own gallery and everything were Black faces. I was like, I don't even know.
So
I don't
cool.
even know which one to get, right? You go somewhere,
Beautiful.
there'll be that one book that's Black or that one, like, they'll
Yeah.
have something in there and like you have your choice. So yeah, I didn't even know that's what I missed. But if you're traveling solo, you can stop at that gallery, you can stop at those murals and really take that in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agree with you.
So number three, I put feed all of your senses when you solo travel. So what I mean by that is feed them all, like eat, you know, get in the water, get in the mud, take, do whatever kind of body touch thing, see things. Like when you're making your list of things to do, try to make a list of things that can feed all of your senses. And again, as we opened up, the freedom of solo travel is you can do that. One of the things that I miss when I travel with my family, I love him. I love my son. I do. He's wonderful. most of the time. He's wonderful, but he has so many food allergies, so many. So we end up traveling with a whole thing of his food, and I have to be very careful when we travel, particularly internationally. We can't eat at certain places, or I don't feel comfortable if all he can get off the menu is like rice. So when I'm solo, I'm eating it all. I'm trying everything. Because I noticed that when I'm traveling with them, that I spend, a certain percentage of my time trying to find restaurants and places that he can eat. So for me, it's all about the food. But I'm going to organize my itinerary on my solo trips around feeding all of my senses. What can I touch? What can I smell? What can I eat? What can I see? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your number three?
Yeah, that's a good point. Really, to just piggyback off of what you said, it is going to be to do the things that you enjoy. So, unfortunately, again, as I mentioned, sometimes we get kind of held back or a little limited depending on who we're traveling with. Like you said, if somebody has food allergies, if somebody's afraid of heights, if somebody, right, doesn't want to be on a full day tour, like you might get limited in what you can do based on who you're with. But if you are going by yourself, do what you love. This is the biggest recommendation. So when I was in Uganda, and this wasn't a solo trip, but I went bungee jumping, and I was just like, yeah, actually,
I'm not that adventurous.
yeah, if you check out my video, fun activities to do in Africa, then it
Hmm.
shows me bungee jumping, just in case you want to see the video. It's out there in the world.
I went zip lining. I
Okay,
went zip
yeah, zip
lining and I've been
lining,
whitewater. I'm more, yeah,
whitewater rafting, yeah.
but that far with a rope, I have to say I'm a pass.
You're gonna pass,
But
okay.
you do you, do you?
It's all good. I could understand why people would pass. I could get that. So just like doing stuff that maybe you would have never thought to do. So I was with two other people and they said they were absolutely not doing it. And I got lucky that they were okay going with me to do it and, cheering me on. But
That's
when you
nice.
are solo, then you can just do the thing. You don't have to like check in with someone. So I would say definitely do the thing that makes you happy when you're out there going solo. So for me, I really like kind of what you talked about, feeding your senses. I really like being out in nature and just walking and just seeing where it takes me. Sometimes I don't even know where I'm going. I'm like, I'm just gonna follow this street. But I
Yeah,
know it
yeah.
could be annoying to like walk aimlessly, like people are not interested in meandering. They're like, are we going somewhere? So that's the biggest thing is like if you have that time, then whatever it is that is your preference to do, if it's to go to an all day tour, because some of these tours be 4 days and it's like ain't nobody got time for that. But if that is what you like to do, you should just do those things. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, that's a great point. Like, take this opportunity to try things. I did something so small. Okay, this is small. You said bungee jumping, but when my sons and I stayed in Cahuita, Costa Rica for about a month, we were country scouting. And the Airbnb where we were, they had the house we were renting, they had bikes, but we needed three. So I went and rented a bike and we went bike riding. Like we just went, as you say, meandering. We didn't know our way around. So we were meandering around. First of all, it was scary as heck because none of us were really good riders. Number one. But it was fun. Like it was fun. And they were like, oh, my mom is riding with me. Like I would go somewhere and say, go ride your bike. Right? Like go ride. But because I was doing it with them, they enjoyed it more. But I was a little bit nervous because traffic and all three of us, like, but they loved it. And it was something I would never do. Like it sounds so simple, but I was like, you know what? Let's just meander and just drive and take this corner. And it was a beautiful, you find out that you like something that you didn't know you liked or that you didn't like it, but at least you tried it, right? So I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm a meanderer. Meanderer? I'm a meanderer.
Okay, there you go. Love that.
What's your number four?
Okay, so my number four is one of the biggest concerns that I've heard when we talk about solo travel is being solo, obviously, and just
Safety.
feeling like I'm just out here by myself, like exactly what you said, safety, what's going to happen. So I think a good way to get around this is to be on a tour. And there are so many tours that you can find. You can find tours from your hotel. You can find tours from the people that you booked your accommodations with, like maybe they know about tours. You can find tours through Airbnb, like Viator. There are so many places to find tours. There is no limit on the kind of tours that you can take. And when you
Yeah.
go on a tour, then you do not feel alone. You're with a group of people. There can also be other people that are solo traveling too. You know, you feel bonded because they also may be their first time in the space. So people are a little bit more open and connect,
Hmm.
having great conversations. So I solo traveled in Uruguay and I met a bunch of people on my tour and we had a great time. Like every time we went somewhere, we're joking, laughing, enjoying things, eating food together. Like it was a tour that was supposed to be just a few hours turned into like an all-day tour because we were just having so much fun together that we just didn't want it to end. So like you never know what kind of friends or connections can be made if you just go on a tour.
This is true. Yeah, I guess I've taken tours. When I go away, when I manage to get away from the group I'm with, I will book a tour. I tend to book a tour. And you do, people approach you um when you're alone because you're open for that. That's a good point. And you have, you're with the same people the whole tour, so there is an element of feeling safe and secure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm with you. Mine is almost the opposite, my number four. And I put, top five things for solo Black female travelers, Black women travelers, naps. Girl, you need to rest. Okay, you need to rest. I am guilty of booking up solid something. We're gonna be here, we're gonna be do this, I'm gonna do this. You gotta rest. And you have to, when you come back, put in your PTO that you're gonna like come back so that you can have a day to rest. Um, I can't stress that enough. I went on a group tour. This is with a group tour. When I went to Cuba in January, so my last time out of the country was January. And I went on a tour with Desiree Parkman's Route and Align. She does tours for Black women. She's also been a part of Exodus Summit as well. And she builds that into the itinerary. And she's like, okay, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna go back, and then you're gonna rest, and we'll go out for dinner. And I was like, rest, and you don't go to sleep. Of course, you don't go to sleep, but you lay down, take those shoes off, you look at something. It was wonderful. I look forward to my rest, every day. We know the Nat ministry tells you to rest. So even though it's a vacation, instead of packing things in, build in a spot to just be. I know you want to fill it all up. You're like, I paid all this money to get here and I need to, I want to see it do everything that's possible. But you actually can re-energize your body to take in a lot more, especially if you're in a place where the language is different. You know the language, like I need that downtime to be able to take in more. We were in Havana for Jazz Fest, so we did concerts every night, and I needed that afternoon siesta to be able to go to dinner and then go to a concert. So rest is good during your tour, solo travelers. And then if you're able to build in that day after when you get back, which I never do, and I always regret before you start washing all your clothes and checking your emails, like you need to build a day to come back down from your vacation. That's what I say. Number four is rest, naps and rest.
That is such a good one. I could not agree with you more. I started doing that as well. I would come back on a Sunday and then I would take PTO on that Monday. It's just,
Oh, okay.
listen. Just have that one day, and it matters. It matters so much because then you have a whole nother day just to calm yourself down, to relax, to take your time, to get back adjusted before you got to go back into work.
Mhm.
Very, very good suggestion.
Go to the grocery store because you know nothing is in your refrigerator. You ate that last pack or whatever. So you need to go to the grocery store. You need to just come down from a really good break. So yeah. So what's your fifth, your last tip for solo
Yes.
Black women travelers?
Yeah, so my last tip is going to be a practical tip, and this tip is to stay at a hotel. So normally, I'm recommending, oh, we just find cheapest accommodations, like find ways. I'm really big on Airbnb to find like something discounted or what have you. But for this in particular, when it comes to going solo, I feel that getting a hotel is very, very helpful because it has a lot of amenities that will be crucial when you get there. So, I also was solo traveling in El Salvador. And what I was able to do was I was able to talk to them about a trusted taxi driver. So they found for me a specific person who was like picking me up, dropping me off every single day that was connected to that hotel. So it wasn't like a rando on the street. They had this man's number and ID and all the information at the hotel. And this person would pick me up every single day to take me to where I needed to go. In addition to that, I could just come down from my room to get food in the restaurant that they had there. In addition to that, like I've already mentioned, they might have tours that they already know about that they can connect you with people to the tours. I mean, it's just so helpful. It's almost like you have a guide in the country if you're at the hotel because those people know what's going on or can give you the information. And I've been able to have some really good experiences and be with really trusted people from being able to connect with the people at the hotel with their connections.
That's good practical advice. Good practical advice. What I Again, I go with whatever the cheapest option. I'm a travel hacker, so I spend a little bit more time than I'm comfortable with admitting in like chains. But what I do supplement with that is when I'm going somewhere, I try to join the Facebook group for that group of people, like the group of people
Okay.
that are either in the country. So now it's expats, but even before that, even when I was going to take my family to St. Thomas, I will join the group about, people visiting St. Thomas to get the inside. And that's how I found the driver that we found from someone who recommended him. And so wherever you want to go, I don't know if you're on Facebook or not, wherever you want to go, there's a group for that. There's a group for that. There's a group for families who travel to Uruguay, as you said, like there's a group. And in that group, you can get insider tips on things, and it's always steered me in the right direction. And I've actually, when I prepared for the trip, when I took my boys for an extended period of time, I made connections through there. And when we hit the ground running, we already had people. But this is about solo travel. So there's even I haven't joined any, but there are Black women solo travel Facebook groups as well. There's a group for everything that you want to do. And if you lurk for a while in that group or introduce yourself, you can find some of that same thing. But if you have a hotel that can do that, that's great as well. And sometimes I would do both. And I would see, they might come up with the same person because the guy that I found, he was great. He picked us up before we got there. We went glamping. I know it sounds crazy, but it was glamping. I was not using an outhouse. And we were staying on this island. So I gave him a grocery list. So when he picked us up at the airport, he had bought everything so that we could bring it with us on the ferry to our island. And we were set. Like that was like, and from being in this group, she was like, you know what? If you're gonna stay over on Water Island, there's kitchen and everything, but there's no food. So get your food on the mainland and just ask him to pick it up. And that was perfect. Like everything we wanted, our beer, our wine,
Oh,
bread or whatever was there. He picked us up and took us to the ferry. So it was perfect.
that's
So
great.
again, if you want to squish our advice, it was
Yeah.
like trust on, trust on your hotel or get into a group to get recommendations for the things that you do, whether it's from the hotel itself or joining a travel group online to get inside information and get more to get reference or recommended guides and drivers. Totally.
Yeah, that is so, so helpful of being in these groups. Like you said, there's a group for everything. So I'll just shout out Adelia, who's also been a presenter at Exodus Summit. She has
Picky Girl Travels.
exactly. So if you check on Facebook, she has that specifically for people that are solo traveling, and it gives advice on how to be solo travelers. So should look that up, and they have a whole group with a lot of people in it that could give more advice about solo traveling.
Oh, great, great. Yeah, I love it. And I said that I would do more of it because I'm
Okay.
always traveling with family. And that I wanted to do more of it because then every day is mine. I can just eat what I want to eat. I don't have to worry about gluten and nuts and sesame.
You're
Shellfish. I love shellfish. You can't eat shellfish. You know what it's like to go on a vacation with it. So anyway, I'm sorry, I digress.
you're okay. It's
You
understandable.
want to share is that your final one? That was your final one. So it's
Yeah.
mine. Okay. So it's really lame. It's not, I like your practical advice. Mine are more like go where you want to go and eat and nap. And
That's
you have
okay.
really
That's
good,
okay.
practical, down to earth advice. Mine is to be ready, stay ready.
Be ready.
So
Stay ready. Stay ready.
I
Be
opened,
ready.
yeah. So be ready. If you be ready, you stay ready. My opening was like have your passport. You may not, plan to go right where, but if you're ready when the opportunity presents itself. So, for example, I think you did one. I didn't finish it yet, but I began the one you did about budget traveling or saving up. And so I'm a travel hacker, which means I use like credit card points to travel. That's a whole different subject. But for me, one of the things that they say is that you can't get everything you want when you want to budget travel like that. Like if you were rich, you would go where you want to go when you want to go there, right? And so you can go anywhere, but you can't go at any time. Or you can go at any time, but you can't go anywhere. Like there's always going to be something that limits you, and that's okay. So if you're ready, if you say, if you have a time that you want to go, oh, it's my birthday, then be open and be ready to go wherever for your birthday. Okay. That's where you can save. Like I'm turning 50, 29, 75. I want to go somewhere nice for my birthday. And then open yourself up and do Google flight checks to see, or set price alerts. Actually, you should set price alerts for all of your dream destinations. I have a whole video about, setting and like using Google Flights or things called like Going. There's all these subscription services that you tell them your airport that you're willing to fly out of, and they'll send you alerts when those deals drop. So if you have a time that you want, open yourself to anywhere. The region. Okay. There's even a thing that one like Skyscanner says explore. So you put where you're coming from and they'll tell you wherever in the world the prices are and you set price alerts. If you say, no, I have to go to the Maldives. I don't want to go anywhere else. Everybody's talking about the Maldives. I have to go there. Then be willing to go there whenever it's time to go. So you find a deal, they alert you that there's a deal out of JFK, $6.99, go, book it and go. So you're not going to have both. You're not going to be like, I'm going to the Maldives for my 29th birthday on April, 15th. You're not necessarily going to get a deal. You could get lucky, but if you're ready, you set your price alerts, You know where you want to go, or you know when you want to go, but you can't have both. You can't have where and when. If that alert comes, get it and go. Be ready, stay ready.
Be ready, stay
So
ready. I
be
actually
ready, stay ready.
feel that that is a fantastic suggestion and is something that in the travel world we have talked about is being more flexible about where you want to go. And so the first part of what you said is like being open to the destination. Now, that one I think could be a little bit harder, right, to sell people and just being open to go anywhere. Like you got to be a real world traveler to just be like wherever that price is low is where I'm going, right? That is probably
That's
very
fun.
adventurous. Go you, go you. If that's you, that's like whatever, whenever, I'm down. We love that. We love that. But if that's not you, the other part that you mentioned is a flexible time frame. So for me, I can be like really rigid with time frames. Like you said about birthday trips, I love having birthday trips too. And I'm like, I want it on my birthday. I want it at this time. But then I become a little bit more flexible. I'm like, hey, sometimes you can't always be there exactly on your birthday. Maybe it's a few days before, maybe it's a few days after, maybe it's a week later. Like, but as long as you get there, right, it can still be a part of the celebration. So I love that, being flexible with the destination, being flexible with the time. And then
And
that
it's
can,
or, yeah, and it's the or. So if you want to be somewhere on your birthday, you might be in Prague on your birthday. It
Oprah.
might not be Puerto Rico.
Oh, frog. Oh, frog. Yeah, you're right. So it could be,
So,
or,
but
yeah,
you somewhere on your birthday.
you
But if
somewhere.
it's yeah, but if you really want to go to, let's change it from Prague. If you really want to go to Curacao, no, you've been there,
Yeah.
then and you want to get there as cheaply as possible, then you say, when I find a price alert for Curacao under this amount, then I'm going because it's there. I can't complain anymore. Most people have a time restriction, I think, though. Like
Yeah.
people who have kids, like, oh, we can only go during spring break or whatever.
Yeah.
Then expect to pay more. If you have time flexibility, you can get some really good deals. And if you open yourself up, you will go. I would say the places that I've taken my family is because it really wasn't on my bucket list per se. It was in the region. So we ended up in Belize because we ended up in Belize. Like,
Yes.
and people are
Yeah.
like, why are you going there? And I couldn't tell them, well, it was less than $200 a person. But in truth,
That's
it kind of
so
was. But yeah, but flexibility on some front. You don't have to, it
right.
doesn't have to be everything, but it will pay dividends in how much it costs for you to go if you can be flexible at some point. Now, because of the pandemic, I just pull my kids out because I'm like, y'all didn't worry about them having school for 9 months, so they can be gone for 10 days.
There you go.
Don't
Yeah.
take my motherly advice. Don't take my parents. We don't know how they're gonna end up yet.
Oh my gosh. Are your kids the same age?
They are 15 months apart. So one is
Okay.
9 and then the other one just turned 11. So yeah,
Right.
that's a whole nother segment of my bougie kids who like travel and have normalized international travel. They just, oh my gosh,
Where
they
are we
did
going
not grow
next?
up like I did. They did
Exactly.
not. They're like, can we go to where the clock thing is at Big Ben? I'm like, that's London and that's not down the street. Like, stop, stop.
As soon as you said the clock, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, they're like the clock, the clock. And now they say, Mommy, can we go next time we fly? Can we get those lie flat seats? I was like, how you know about that? Yes, they know about lie. They know about first class. I'm like, you will never get a
You,
first class ticket with me. I was
oh,
like, as soon as you're old enough, I will go sit in first class while you sit. It,
and coach.
they do it. Parents do it. Parents do it. As long as they're like, 15, I would say maybe 12. If it's not that long a flight, but 15, if it's a long flight, I'm like, I'm gonna be up there.
You're gonna be up there. Yeah. Hey, this could be a bonus tip actually, just talking to
Oh,
you
okay.
thought of is that you can treat yourself to first class, especially if you're by yourself, then you're not paying for a
Yes.
bunch of other people, so you can treat yourself. And I was
Yes.
specifically, if it's them long, long flights, like we on this flight for a day, we trying to go to Africa, we going all the way to India, like then you should definitely treat yourself to first class if you want. Or even if you can't do that, treat yourself to the spots that have more leg room at least so you don't have to be so
Yeah.
cramped in there for so long.
That is a good bonus tip because yeah, when you're flying four, you might get premium economy, but you're right. The price that I would spend for one points wise, I could sit in, but you know what? I feel like if I go up there, I'm never coming back. It's just I'm never gonna be able to go back to the main cabin. I've only been in first class once, and it was a complete accident. And I hear about the really nice ones they have now. If I go, I don't think I could go back. That's why I'm nervous. I'll get the next step. Like I'll do premium economy but if I end up with lie flat and some have like a shower and a bar like Etihad, like those fancy ones, I don't think I can come back. I don't think I can I can't
Get
come
up
back to
to
you people in main cabin.
get that premium first, build up slowly.
So you want to recap your top five? Can you recap?
Yeah, of course. So this is not going to be definitely in the order at which I said them, but here is the
Okay.
summary. Number one, you want to make sure that you go to a hotel if you can, just because they have those amenities so that you won't have to worry about finding them on your own. Number two is do what you like to do. This is your trip. This is your solo travel. Make the most of it. Do all of the things that you wanted to do, but maybe you couldn't do based on like restrictions or whomever you were traveling with before. Number three, I always want to stress the fact that the tours can be a really helpful way for you to not feel like you're by yourself. And you can even make some friends sometimes. And sometimes they will give you suggestions on other things that you can do as well. Like I know people when they were like on the tail end of their trip, they were like, we also went here, 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 and here. So, if you're interested in that, you can go back to that. My bonus recommendation that I gave is to treat yourself to first class. I know if you're out here trying to, cut costs, maybe that might not be the thing you want to do first of all. But if you do have extra money in the budget, you deserve it. You're doing a solo travel. Why not go for it? And another thing is to make sure that you pay attention to what time you're arriving in the place so that you are not somewhere in the dark trying to figure out things by yourself. As I mentioned with the hotel, if you get a hotel, sometimes they could send a shuttle even to pick you up. So, before you book your hotel, see what type of amenities that they have, because if they have one like that, that can make you feel very comfortable and very safe as soon as you arrive.
Thank you. That was great. That was great. So I'm gonna I'm gonna do my five and go back to my one because they're related. So the idea of be ready and staying ready, like understand when traveling and you're intentionally traveling more, that you're either gonna get a deal if you can fly anywhere or if you can fly anytime. So you're going to have one or the other. It's hard to find a deal on a specific place at a specific date. But if you are flexible on one of those options, you can usually save if you say, I want to be in this particular area in this day, or on this day, I want to be here, like a wider school. So pick one. Being ready also means to have your passport. If you don't have your passport now, go ahead and get it so that when something comes up, when you get that price alert that has a place that you want to go to within the month that you want to go, book it and you're ready. So be ready, stay ready. The other thing is to go where you are the art. And I would have never said this had I not had the experience last fall. I did not know what I was missing when I saw people that looked like me as the art. So go where you are the art, Black women, and there are places in this world where Black women are revered. We are the objects of art and desire. It is an amazing feeling. And then feed all of your senses. Because you're solo, you can go where you want, when you want to go. So eat, be merry, go listen to music, go meander. I think that's the word of this thing, was to meander, aimlessly walk. And you can do what you want to do and try to feed all of your senses, because traveling is a way of energizing you. And on the flip side, you're going to sit down somewhere sometimes. Right? Like, if you are feeding all your senses, if you're out there, then make sure you build in moments to reconnect and to rest, especially at the end of your journey, to have that extra day to get yourself back into a work mode without a shock to the system. So I think those are good. I think they're suggested. I think I found something, especially
Same.
the don't take flights that get you in after midnight and before 6.
Yeah, same. And whatever
That's good.
you were talking about, all of these other alerts that we can get about when flights decrease, I had no idea about that. Would love that information.
Oh yeah, I can put them in the description. Yeah. So even Google Flights does it. Say, whatever day you search, and it was like 4.49 to go there, and you said, well, give me a search when it send me an alert to my email when it's cheaper. And there's a lot of subscription flights. So the most popular ones for me are Google Flights, Skyscanner, and then I subscribe to one called Going, which used to be called Scott's Cheap Flights. And that's how I've jumped on things. When I see I can go somewhere, my thing is, if I can go to Central America under $200 per person, then I'm booking it. I'm just booking
Nice.
it.
I love that.
So yeah, I jump on those a lot. So, and there's also a thing really quickly about repositioning, which is very specific. So if you don't live near a major airport, it might be in your best interest to be able to fly to a major airport. So we live in a small regional one. So we tend to drive to Philly or to New York City or to Washington, D.C., Baltimore, or we even live close to Ottawa, Canada. So we drive to those places to be able to get the best deals out of major airports. So that's the other thing. Yeah, I think I might talk about this in one video. It was like maybe my first or second or third video where I talk about, yeah, yeah. I'm always looking for a deal, but I'm gonna stop the after midnight between the after midnight arrivals and before 6. I'm gonna stop that right
It's okay.
now.
It's okay. It wasn't your fault. Why they make a flight at that time is wild to me. Not your
Stop that
fault.
right now. I'm gonna stop that. Thank you for reminding me that that is not very practical.
It's all good.
Well, I want to say thank you so much for sharing this time with me,
Yeah, of
and
course.
coming up with this list. And I hope that this inspires you. I hope you're watching and it inspires you to get ready, to be ready, get your passport. And these tips are helpful in letting you go and relax. Going solo is a wonderful experience because you go when you want to go and you do what you want to do. And we want that for all Black women out there. So again, you can feel free to subscribe to Dr. Maya's channel, Fly Like Me PhD, which is the coolest name ever,
Oh,
Fly Like Me
thank you.
PhD. I'm Dr. Keisha Dupree, which is something most people can't pronounce. They get the first name wrong, or they get the last name wrong, or they get both wrong, but that's okay. So please subscribe to our channels and we'll continue to bring tips to you. Until then, safe travels.